Hey guys, how you doing? If you're new, my name is Lily. Listen, okay, it has been a rough time, not gonna lie. I've not been doing the best mental health wise, and it's been a real struggle to get myself to film something. It's been a struggle to get myself to do anything, especially reading. But I read a book. Are you proud? No one is proud. That's the whole point of my channel. Anyway, I read Assassin's Blade. I have opinions and thoughts and feelings, and I want to discuss them with you guys today. I just wanted to chat with you guys. I want this video to be super chill. I just want to talk to you guys. You know, I did kind of just hashtag disappear. So yeah, I thought I would get ready for nothing because I'm not going anywhere. I just feel like doing my makeup. We can talk about Assassin's Blade together. Now, if you haven't read Assassin's Blade or Throne of Glass, I'm going to try my best to not spoil anything in this video, but I'm not going to be refraining from spoilers. So I will put a little symbol if you want to mute, if you really don't want to be spoiled for anything. So Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. So this book is a collection of novellas. This is a collection of 5 novellas in the like Throne of Glass series. The first book is Throne of Glass. The second book is Crown of Midnight. And this collection of novellas was actually published third. So I've read Throne of Glass, and you know what, I didn't mind it. There were a few issues I had with it. You can watch my review video if you want, if you're curious to know. This series is so popular, it's kind of a joke. But I asked you guys on Twitter if I should read Assassin's Blade or if I should read Crown of Midnight first, considering Crown of Midnight is actually the next book in the series, you know. And everyone says that Assassin's Blade is actually better to read before Crown of Midnight, that you probably get more out of the series if you read the prequel before, right after Throne of Glass. So that's what I did. I'm reading Crown of Midnight now, and I can safely say that that advice is correct. And I've only read like, I don't know, 20% of Crown of Midnight, and already you will have a much better time if you read Assassin's Blade before Crown of Midnight, because there's already been references where all the backstory is explained in Assassin's Blade. Anyway, now onto the actual book. Okay, so my overall thought on the book, I gave this a 3. It went from being a vibe to an anti-vibe, and then being a vibe again, and then leaving me super frustrated. I feel like this story gave me blue balls. But it was satisfying to read, but also by the end I was so frustrated. That is the worst possible description I could have given you, but look. No one comes here for the quality, you know? You come here for a reason that I don't understand. The first story is called The Assassin and the Pirate Lord. If you've read Throne of Glass, there is a guy that Selena dated. He was like the love of her life, right? Love of her life that died before she went to Endovia. And his name was Sam. And we finally meet Sam in this first story. So it turns out they were an enemies to lovers type deal, which we love a bit of that. I feel like this first story is basically the catalyst for the entire trajectory of Selena's life, to put things lightly. This is where she makes a certain choice that pisses off a certain someone, and from that point on, it's basically, this concealer is the same color as my skin. What am I doing? And it basically turns into a ping pong game of betrayals and revenge from that point on. This definitely wasn't my favorite of all the novellas, but it definitely starts it off strong because it was engaging. I love that for once we actually see Selena biting as strong as she barks, because after all of that talking the talk without walking the walk nonsense that we saw in the first book, it was great to actually see her being a badass instead of just talking about being a badass. You know what I mean? This shit dries so fucking fast that I can only do like one line at a time, otherwise Jesus Christ. It definitely helped with my opinion of her. The critics were right, if we want to give them credit for that, saying that Assassin's Blade will change how you view Selena. Okay, the assassin and the barmaid. Love the girls supporting girls. Huge fan of that. It was probably the story with the least amount of plot in it, and I think it was just the shortest in general as well. Nonetheless, I actually really like this one. Beating up creepy men that try to hit on you. Love to see that. Love to see them throw them on their ass. Love teaching other women self-defense. This, do you see that? Do you see this mistake I've just made? Okay, we're not going to talk about it yet, okay? We're going to disguise it like a good makeup artist. The fact that I even said artist is a massive disrespect. If anyone makes fun of my makeup in the comment section, you know what? I agree, so you're not actually hurting my feelings. Just leave a dislike and leave. Punching the lights out of creepy men makes my heart sing. This really inspired me to take self-defense classes so that the next time a creepy man tries me, which is apparently fucking always, I can disconnect his electricity. Punch his lights out. This is also too orange for my skin, I am aware. Shut up, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a dumb bitch. So yeah, short and sweet. I love it. I hope this chick, I have a feeling that this girl is probably gonna pop up again in the series at some point. I actually have a feeling like that's probably gonna be the case with a lot of these like random side characters that we meet. Okay, novella number 3, Assassin and the Desert. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I was super bored in the beginning. I was starting to think that the book had seriously taken a turn, and it was gonna stop being a vibe. But it did, I don't know, it got more interesting towards the end, but overall, least favorite. I don't know, we'll get into it. This one did get a little bit juicy towards the end. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. Selena was so stupid. Girl, she didn't use her brain. The way, okay, spoilers if you wanna mute right now. The way that girl, I've already forgotten her name. The way that girl betrayed her. Okay, so first of all, that girl was so insecure and so salty. She got very, very offended over a little comment that our girl Selena said. Decided to drug her, leave her in a desert, and write a fake note saying that the master had kicked her out of this like assassin, I don't even know what it was called, temple assassin. I've forgotten everything about the book. I've forgotten all the details. I'm so sorry. The review has gone downhill already. This isn't even a review. This is just me talking shit. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. This is probably a mistake with the nose contour. I don't know why I've decided to be a little bit brave today. Anyway, okay, they have beef, right? Selena goes up to her and she's like, hey, look, I'm sorry for just destroying you with that comment that I made. And she's like, oh yeah, it's all cool, no worries. Have a sip of this random tea that I just pulled out of my ass. And then she's like, oh yeah, okay. Drinks it, gets poisoned, you know, wakes up in a desert, and then she's like, well, what's happened here? She reads this little note that's like, oh hey, it's me. Super crazy, but the master has decided that you've embarrassed him, and to save you the embarrassment of being kicked out of this temple, or I've forgotten what the name of the place is. To save you the embarrassment of being a recognized failure, the master has asked that I pack up your shit, drug you, and leave you in the middle of the desert halfway through your training with him. And she was first of all so jealous that Selena got to train with the master, and this girl has been living in that monastery for years and never got asked to train with the master. So like, we know she's just being a petty jealous hoe, and that like the master wanted to leave her in a discreet way. Getting drugged and dumped in the desert, so discreet. Right after this girl got totally bent out of shape over a tiny shady comment. And the fact that Selena was just gobbling up that lie, I expect better. I really expected better from her. I'm using this Rimmel, what is it? Oh no, Revlon Colourstay powder that is clinging on for dear life in that pan. She figures it all out, finally, went back to this temple, or the training camp, monastery, whatever it was, you know, Arby's, Wendy's. I can't remember what the place was. I'm so sorry. Anyway, she goes back, finds oh no, they've been surprise attacked. Who was behind it all? Of course. This girl is trying to kill the master. The jealousy. In the end, she decides to be the bigger person and let this crazy bitch go. Which, why? If you drug me and leave me in a desert, hell no, I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm absolutely gonna be the pettiest bitch back in return. And I definitely would not give her that sword back. This girl has this sword from her dad. Selena gets a hold of it somehow, gives the sword back to her. Why would you do that? Why would you let this crazy hoe escape and give her a sword? Are you fucking out of your mind? Absolutely not. And then she like spares her life on purpose in the end. Bye. Okay, now I'm gonna be taking this expired ass Australis acontour palette that I've had since I was 18. This could give me a skin disease, but I'm a poor immigrant in this country, okay? I don't have money to be buying a new contour palette. Novella number 4. I really hope the lighting is not getting, because I am filming this as the sun is disappearing. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry to abruptly just cut the review in half like this, but the lighting did end up getting very terrible by the end. It would drive me insane if I just spent all that time watching someone do their makeup routine and then not finish the look. I refuse to give my audience blue balls like that, so I'm gonna quickly speed through doing my makeup until I get to the point I was at yesterday. Then we will recommence the review. Okay, I think we're back. That was so bootleg. Remember, this is a no judgment zone, okay? That was incredibly rushed. My face feels so dry. So I think I was talking about the 4th novella. Yes, I was. Okay, so what happens in the 4th one? Assassin in the Underworld. I'd barely recovered from the betrayal of the last story, to be honest with you. I was not ready for what was about to come. First of all, this entire video has just become a spoiler-filled mess. Heavy on the mess. Oh fuck, dude, I really fucked up that cheek. Look at it. I'm so sorry. Everyone has been asking for a makeup tutorial for literally years, and this is what I give you. I apologize profusely. I'll do another one of these and then I'll make it good. Okay, so novella number 4. So basically Selena gets her letter from the Mute Master. She goes back to the Assassin's Guild. She confronts Arobin. Arobin is her trainer. Arobin is this guy who like adopted her when she was little. Not really adopted, he found her in a lake, half dead, trained her, and now she's an assassin that works for him. So she goes back, re-links up with him. He puts her on this mission, assassinate these 2 guys, right, who are apparently, they're making a deal to start slave trading. As you will remember from the very first story, Assassin and the Pirate Lord, Selena got into this whole mess with Arobin because she sabotaged his slave trading agreement, right? He was trying to start trading slaves and she was like, not on my fucking watch. Freed 200 slaves, pissed off Arobin, you know? So anyway, so he sends her on this mission to assassinate these 2 men who are gonna start trading slaves. So she thinks that we're seeing some character development with Arobin. She's like, wow, maybe he's realized that trading slaves is an evil, disgusting thing to do after all. And now he's decided to fight against this. She goes on this mission. She shows up at this meeting place, right? First of all, she almost dies in that drain. She gets sucked into a drain. Did that happen before or after? No. Okay, first of all, these 2 guys are supposed to be having a meeting in this house, and she decides to go and scope out the area beforehand. She gets caught and put in this drain, this like sewer drain or something. She almost drowns. It was really full on and traumatic. She gets resuscitated, survives. It's a full on ordeal. Okay, she goes to go and kill the 2 guys and burn the documents or whatever that they're supposed to be trading. She arrives, kills the first guy, the second guy runs off with the documents, and then she eventually catches up to him. This guy freaks out and then he burns the documents in front of her and then kills himself. And she's like, she's looking through these documents. You know, he only burned half of them. She gets her hands on these documents and she gets an understanding of what they are. And it turns out that they are not slave trading agreements or whatever. They were basically on the other side. They were trying to work to provide, I think they were trying to provide a group of people who were, first of all, against slave trading, but trying to set up like a safe, was it safe houses that they were making? Or again, I should have reviewed this book straight after I finished it. This is my mistake. But I think they were trying to set up like safe houses for the slaves. Or it was a list of people who were opposed to slave trading and they were doing something to help. Anyway, they're the good guys, basically. It's all you need to know. Turns out Arobin tricked her, and this whole time he is still trying to trade slaves at this point. Which that actually felt like a massive slap in the face. Either I don't remember anything about him being evil and shady from the first book. Like, I must have completely forgotten. This is why when I read series from now on, I just need to read them back to back, because I will forget. And I need to make these reviews straight after I finish the book, because you can see how much I'm forgetting already. It's actually kind of bad. But anyway, it came as a huge shock to me. The thing that I just can't understand is how after this event happening, how she still took anything he said after that at face value ever again. It was so frustrating to read about her being so heavy in denial about Arobin being a terrible, untrustworthy person. I don't know. Anyway, after this, she's like, that's it. Fuck this guy. Me and Sam are leaving this Assassin's Guild. Her and Sam go and get an apartment somewhere else. They decide to be freelance assassins after this, right? They're gonna do their own jobs. They're gonna get their own clients. So random that the first mission they want to do solo is like to take out 2 of the most powerful, influential men. That's their first job. Kill 2 of the most high profile people in this entire city. Anyway, they don't doubt their skills. They're like, yeah, whatevs, we can handle him. So one of the guys' names is Farron. They basically decide, okay, we'll take one each. I don't know why they didn't work together, because, you know, in my humble non-assassin opinion, teamwork makes the dream work. So I don't know why they didn't just take both guys together one by one, but for some reason Sam had to go out and do the kills solo. I don't know. Anyway, so he goes out to go and assassinate this guy. It's supposed to be a quick kill. 10 mins, kill this guy, come back, bada bing, bada boom. So he leaves. Selena's like, cool, gonna make a cup of tea, just gonna sit here and chill, wait for him to come back. Waits like an hour and he doesn't come back. And she's like, should I go after him? She's like, no, no, no. He'll get so mad if he finds out that I went after him because then he'll know that I thought he couldn't handle it on his own. So she's like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'll just pace around the house until he comes back. She falls asleep and wakes up at 4 a.m. and he's still not back. She's like, okay, I'm kind of worried. Do I go out after him? No, 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 I shouldn't do it. I'm gonna stay here. He's probably just laying low after the kill because it's a high profile case. She wakes up, it's like 8 a.m. He's still not back. Goes upstairs and guess who is sitting on the end of her bed? Rat face, a Robin Hamil. Rat face? What kind of insult is that? Fly dog, a Robin Hamil is sitting on the end of her bed. Bad news, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. They brought Sam's body back to the guild last night. They thought he still lived with us. He was killed. This was so hard to read about. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is so hard. Apparently they tortured this guy so badly, keeping him alive so that they could keep torturing him, and like his body was like mutilated. It was like terrible. I was reading it and I felt a bit like, ooh, a bit sick, you know? I don't know if I just have a very vivid imagination when I read things, or if it's the thought that things like this have probably actually happened to a human being at some point in time that freaks me out. But I was so freaked out reading this scene. Hearing about what they did to him was so horrible. It was really sad. Anyway, so Selena goes feral, decides that's it. You know how Sam and Selena were both assassins underneath a Robin Hamil. A Robin takes it personally and he's like, I can't believe they killed Sam, he was one of our best. And he's like, that's it, like we're gonna go and kill Farron, you know, we're gonna kill him ourselves. No one fucks with our assassin like that. They lock Selena in her room and they're like, you stay here. She's like, no one's gonna cage me up, son. Jumps out the window and there's this guy called Wesley, I think, Waylon. I want to say Wylan, but that is absolutely a Six of Crows character and not an Assassin's Blade character. I think his name is Wesley. Her and Wesley have always had a little bit of beef. She sees him and he tries to stop her and he's like, stop Selena, don't go after them. And she's like, listen here, darling, get out of my way or we're gonna have an issue. And he's like, can't you see they're trying to trick? And then she like, I don't know, pinches a nerve and he falls on the ground. Obviously he was trying to say, can't you see they're trying to trick you? But she didn't listen. So she heads off to Farron's house. She gets past all the guards. For some reason there's no guards outside the house. Super strange. You'd think it would be super heavily guarded after the first attack, but there's no guards there tonight. She runs along the roof until she finds an open window. There's a curtain covering it. She doesn't really think it through that much. She's just very mad over Sam dying. She just wants revenge and that's it. She jumps through this window and it's an ambush basically. They're all in there waiting for her. I'm just telling you the story basically. This would be a really good recap if you haven't read the other books and you want to know what happens in Assassin's Blade, because I'm not really reviewing the story, I'm just kind of telling you what happened. I realized this is not even a review. Also, sorry to anyone who said they didn't want to be spoiled, because I've just decided to completely fill this review with spoilers. But anyway, so she goes into this, they set her up. A Robin set her up, yet again manipulated everything. They get a hold of her and instead of torturing and killing her, her punishment is to be sent to Endovia. That's basically the whole backstory around how Selena ended up in Endovia. Is she decided to free some slaves, and this is what I mean by the first story was the catalyst for the entire trajectory of Selena's life, because she decided to free those slaves and fuck over a Robin Hamil, and he got his revenge through setting her up and manipulating her. And I don't know how to feel about it. How do you feel about it? Because I honestly feel like I wish I read Assassin's Blade first off and then read Throne of Glass and then continued on from there. Like, I wish I just read the whole thing in chronological order. I'm not a huge fan of like prequels where you read a bunch of books and then you go all the way back to the beginning, because then I want to read the beginning again to like, you know, I really don't know how I feel overall about the story. I feel like that was a ride. I feel like I've been betrayed many times. Just when I thought I'd recovered from one thing, we got betrayed again. This is what I mean when I say it was a vibe and then it was not a vibe and then it was a vibe again, and then it was so up and down. I had such mixed feelings on each story as well. I would say my favorite was probably Is it lame to say the barmaid story was my favorite one? I kind of want to reserve full judgment until I've finished Crown of Midnight, because I know that this book was published third. I feel like Selena didn't really have that great of a backstory and in general character setup in the first Throne of Glass book. I hope there is a lot of character development and we see a lot of character setup and backstory regardless in Crown of Midnight, because I feel like it wasn't done in Throne of Glass, and if it was, it wasn't done well. I don't know. I feel like writing a prequel where you do all your like backstory and character setup is such a cop-out, especially if it's after you've already published 2 books. Does that make any sense? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Who has even read this? I feel like there's some people who don't even read the novella. Like, they didn't even read this book. If you look at the ratings for all of the other books in the series, it seems like a lot of people skipped Assassin's Blade and just didn't even read it at all. But I feel like, I don't know, if you are gonna read it, you should probably read it right after Throne of Glass or even before. That is basically it, guys. Let me know if you've read this book. I would actually love to know what your reactions were, what your opinion on it is overall. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry again about how it was filmed in 2 parts on 2 separate days, but you know, life is gonna life sometimes. If you want to follow me on either Twitter or Instagram, the handle is @LilyCReads. I'm so sorry for taking so long to film and put something up. I feel like I'm so sketchy with this channel. To be 100% honest, I've really been going through a tough spot. So apologies for the sketchiness, but I'm trying my best. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.